ahwefo na tie for mmakwa aba ba Akroma TV so say na dey the latest news any news papa na dey bremu na dey bremu na show kokra mema we fi say obe like we comment we subscribe na wa share na notification bell on sa etumi abosala say na be news about bontia on sa ebetumi aka first medin Eddie or big game research, we medical sebo ebrom. Na yebora in similarly yebora the new patriotic party now. Finally history for the new patriotic party na kasa no aba to do say when he so catch it. Say when him say Dr. Mahamudu Baba ndi pa na say Ghana for ejibon so ni na no. Just say party na the history no di mo akoti ne papa. Ne papa party say be a party this shall say fee and nkofo di mo akoti ne pa the Bawumia family no mu di mo akoti ne pa the new patriotic party ma. When him say na say Dino kra na NPP now so na the new patriotic party na the Northerners People's Party no say same so eba bontia and the real name of the party now so ni name no to say history and so the ebo say no aba the new patriotic party and yinti Bawumia is the chosen one no and so some aba bontia me broad Ghana for ejebo no so man na because bibia just say party na sha say fear na nkofo edi makotene abesi and that say no so president obeso di president say Dr. Mahamudu per se odi president dey na say we say Ghana for man no kwan pa because party ni farmer pa no na say na bibia the party ni si na kasa no ono ni nkofo edi makotene no so sem aba but man ko gin sem ni chima say man ko tie history of the new patriotic party bibia sha say fear say abesi and dey na no mma yen ko tie yen ko gi asem ni mu chire
People's Party, its origins, that's a title. The emergence of the Northern People's Party could be traced to the work and efforts of members of the Northern Territorial Council, which was an active political body, as well as members of the 1951 Legislative Assembly. The first attempt to form a different organization which could respond to the needs of the North was the formation of the Northern Youth Association in the early 1950s. The Northern Youth Association, however, did not survive for long. J.A. Brymer and S.D. Dombo were the first to raise the possibility of a Northern political party, which could play the same role as had the Northern Group under the 1951 Constitution that was championing the interest of the North in terms of development. J.A. Brymer, together with S.B. Dombo, Yakubu Tali, and Mumuni Bawumia, drew up a draft constitution for such a party and secured the support of other prominent Northerners such as J.A. Nagba, Secretary to the Northern Territorial Council. At a meeting in Accra in February 1954, I should say, it was decided that Mumuni Bawumia would act as the interim chairman and J.A. Nagba as the interim secretary. Okay. A tour was quickly organized in March 1954 by the then interim executives to speak to the chiefs and educated Northerners in order to secure their support. In the northwest corner, now Upper West, B.K. Adama, Jato Kalio, Abefa Kabo, and James Momo promoted the idea of the Northern People's Party, whilst Yakubu Tali and J.A. Brymer sought support in Dagbon and Gonja, respectively. Great. The party symbol was a clenched fist with words "always together" as its party slogan. The party came up with a song entitled "The More We Are Together." Okay, the more we are together, unquote. All right, I don't know how the song sounded, but it looks like an interesting title. The aims and objectives of the NPP reflected the desire for development, particularly of education, health, infrastructure, and agriculture. A draft of the aims and objectives of the NPP drawn up in Accra was more explicit in the party's electoral ambitions to capture as many seats as possible in the Gold Coast Legislative Assembly at all general elections so as to be able to have a commanding voice to be able to achieve the party's objective. The NPP held a delegates conference, that's the Northern People's Party, held a delegates conference at the Tolonas House at Sabonjida in Tamale on the 10th of May 1954. The delegates conference approved the draft constitution, elected officers, and discussed finances, staff, and local branches. The officers elected at the conference includes S.D. Dombo, chairman, Mumuni Bawumia, vice chairman, Fuseni Darimanu, general secretary, Imoro Salifu, propaganda secretary, J.B. Fuseni, treasurer. A rally followed the delegates conference. This was held outside the house of the Dakwema, chief of Tamale. Bawumia, the principal speaker at the rally, declared that the NPP was a party owned by the people of the Northern Territories and was formed to promote the rapid economic and social development in the North and to safeguard its internal freedom. Other speakers at the rally were Imoru Salifu and two chiefs, the Nandom Na and the Walugu Naba, a Mampusi divisional chief. It was at this public rally on the 11th of April 1954 that the Northern People's Party was officially launched. The question of a possible alliance with the parties arose immediately after the NPP was launched. 3 members of the Ghana Congress Party were present at the inaugural rally of the NPP. The Ghana Congress Party assiduously wooed the NPP. It offered the use of its van for the NPP rally and included in its own manifesto a provision for the establishment of a special development fund for the Northern Territories and promised that the Northerners will be given every opportunity to play an active role in the government, particularly with respect to policies affecting the North. The GCP and NPP struck an electoral alliance such that the GCP declined to contest any seats in the North. Other allies of the NPP included, the GCP declined to contest any seats in the North. Other alliance of the NPP included the Muslim Association Party, led by Alhaji Osmanu, the Togoland Congress, led by SG Anto. It was the Togoland Congress I was looking for when I was talking about Modesto Apalu. Viewers, forgive me. I meant SG Anto is the name I should have been mentioned, and I was mentioning Apalu. SG Anto was the Togoland Congress. The Anlo Youth Association. Oh, I have it now. Anlo Youth Association, led by MK Apalu. Yes, Modesto. That's him. So Volta had 2 of them. The Togoland Congress was Anto, and Anglon Youth Association was Modesto Apalu. Of course, Modesto Apalu later begat Fred Apalu, who was Chief Justice of the Republic that we discussed some time back. So that's Modesto Apalu's party, the Anglon Youth Association. Wasa Youth Association and the Gashito Na. Wait, is he writing it well? Okay. Somebody should tell me the correct pronunciation of that. So these were the supporters of the NPP. We are still getting to the Yabuabi story. In its election manifesto for the 1954 elections, the NPP stated that the new party did not seek the interest of the North alone, but the whole of the Gold Coast. But on the other hand, the Northern Territories deserve a special treatment because it has been the most neglected area in the Gold Coast. The major plank was the call for the creation of a social development organization for the North, whose purpose will be to accelerate blah blah blah. Okay, let me skip this. This is the purpose of the party: hospitals, development, all of that. We got that. Okay, it must be noted, the document says, that the NPP did not present official candidates in the 6 constituencies contested by MAP. MAP will be the group. 4 pro-NPP independent candidates won their seats and declared their support for the NPP. They included W.A. Amoro, J.A. Brima, Yakubu Tali, and C.K. Tedam. C.K. Tedam was, for the longest time until he died recently, the chairman of the NPP's Council of Elders. The NPP, together with its allies in the North, had 17 seats as against 7 for the CPP. So the NPP defeated the CPP in the North. That's what accounted for the CPP's reduced votes for the 19 Independence Parliament. In late 1954, the National Liberation Movement, NLM, emerged. The sudden rise of the NLM was greeted with relief on the part of the NPP leaders, and an alliance between the 2 parties was quickly arranged. The 2 parties were united primarily in their opposition to the CPP, and in this respect, they were joined by a number of smaller parties and groups such as the Togoland Congress, the Muslim Association Party, and the Anlon Youth Association. The NPP and the NLM complemented each other. The NLM was organizationally strong with considerable financial resources, while the NPP was the only group opposed to the CPP with a respectable representation in the assembly. Okay, so I think here we need to pause and say something. Okay, so this is the difference. The alliance between the Northern People's Party and the Ashanti NLM. The document says that they complemented each other because whilst the NLM was particularly better organized and strong and financially sound, the NPP had won more seats to make them very competitive in parliament. So if you join together, you put more pressure on the CPP and the Osage. And didn't they absolutely did. Okay. It was at this point that Dombo ceded the leadership of the NPP to Buzia and became deputy. In the 1954 and 56 elections, the area of great strength for the NPP was the Northwest, now Upper West, and Mampusi. in 1956, the NPP won all the seats in the Northwest. Okay. In December 1957, the Avoidance of Discrimination Act was passed by Nkrumah. Its key operative clause forbade organizations whose purpose was for the benefit or advancement of any community or religious faith from taking part in any election. Its key operative clause forbade organizations. Okay, so this is the law that I was talking to you about. The operative clause of the law forbade any organization, that is any political party, whose purpose was for the benefit and advancement of. So Nkrumah couches very well. So he looked at all of them, their objectives, and then he said, okay, I'm going to pass a law. That law will say that if you're a political party, you cannot participate in elections if your purpose is the advancement of a community or a religious group. So Anglo Youth as a Muslim something, NLM, Koko, Ashanti, NPP, you are all out. I told you that story. That's what happened. Okay, let's move on. A community was defined to include anybody or group of persons having a common tribal or religious origin, or because of their birth or upbringing in any religious locality or place, whether in Ghana or any other country associating together with Ghana. Okay, and participation of the bill, etc. That's the bill. We'll come back to it. The new party, which brought together the NLM, that's the Ashanti NLM, and the Northern People's Party, the MAP, the Togoland Congress, the Anglo Youth Association, the Shifimokwe, I think is what it is. Gan Shifimokwe was launched on the 3rd November of 1957 under the leadership of Dr. K.A. Buzia as chairman, with J.A. Brima as deputy chairman and S.D. Dombo as a member of the 12-man working committee. The NPP became the Northern Regional Branch of the United Party, with S.B. Dombo as regional chairman, Alhaji Osmanu as vice chairman, Salifu Yakubu as treasurer, and Mahama Tampuri as general secretary. So that's what happened. Therefore, the origins of the NPP, as the document said, was in Mampusi. It was not in Northern region. So this is the story. You're going to have a lot of this coming up as we get deep into the election primary struggle. So this is the story about the NPP. I think you get it now. Now, the story about Mumuni Bawumia must be told in this way. So Mumuni Bawumia was an important personality in the Northern People's Party, and he was a driving force behind it. Okay, Mumuni Bawumia, however, campaigned for SB Dombo to come in, because Mumuni Bawumia didn't want the NPP to be a Mampusi issue. I think by that time, Mumuni Bawumia had already been thinking about what Nkrumah might say. So he said that, I don't want to lead this thing. Bring Dombo in. If I lead, it becomes a Mampusi issue. So the thing was a Mampusi thing. It was not Upper West. It was Mampusi. So the Mampusi thing. So he said, if I lead, so bring me Dombo, who is, I think, a Dagomba, to come in and lead. That's what happened. However, when they joined everyone, Mumuni Bawumia didn't join the bigger group. He didn't join it. Mumuni Bawumia, CK Tadem didn't join it. Tolona Yakubu Tali didn't join it. However, Yakubu Tali became a running mate of the NPP ticket to Victor Owusu in 1979. And CK Tadem had been the chairman of the NPP National Council of Edo. One of the men that Akufo-Addo completely admires is CK Tadem. May he rest in eternal peace. On that note, I end the story. If you have something to say about this, please tell us right now. And let's deal with it, because we have Chief Mumin in the studio.
I know any about some was TB for the New Patriotic Party or party no be a shasi fee IBC and then no so TBA and 70 months say Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia na se for no di mo akotene papa and so say mababo tia me dey bro mutino say if Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia si na DMP so no so be president e wo man Ghana mu dia na say o se fata akonwa na wo say kai de Ghana for e sharp na kai de man na bibia so to because ya and so nsem ababo tia me dey ebro betu ko comment section ho na so akokire wa adwena me nya bra me so betumi akenkan amobi aboso atone yam aha akromatic so nya me de kasebo ebro me so me din e di obin gebo sechi makram